What's the best feeling in the world?
Being able to brag to your friends that you have the instruction booklet for Shamu's Deep Sea Adventure for the Nintendo DS.
Hello everyone, my name is DAGG and today let's talk about gaming manuals. Gaming manuals or instruction booklets have been since the very beginning. The oldest one that I have is from this game called Chevaliers del Zodiac or Knights of the Zodiac for the NES. But what are the gaming manuals for? This one is in French, I believe, and I'm missing the cover. But in essence, they tell you how to play the game, a little context of the story, and sometimes they have extra information that is very useful and very entertaining. Or at least that's the essence, and that's how it came for this game in the NES, and many had the same. For example, many people knew for the first time that Peach's name was originally Princess Toadstool from the original manual for the first Mario Bros. Game for the NES. And since then, gaming manuals have been evolving all the way to the Super Nintendo. And at the time, I can only imagine it being pretty cool to get your box, getting your game of course, and also getting your manual. This one from Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, for example, having the epilogue of the game, basically explaining you how to play the game, all the modes, all the items in the game, how to use the controls, and a little bit about every character from the game, and all in a very graphic way as if you were reading a comic book. This one in specific has a lot of information. For example, you can see the animals you will encounter, the Kong family, the enemies, and so much more, and it even has some notes for you to write on. This is pretty cool. This is a very complete manual, a definite improvement over the last ones, and I can only wait to see what comes next. And also, is Nintendo the only company doing gaming manuals? No! Sega also did it. For example, in the original Sonic, it came with a manual, and while not as detailed as, for example, the Donkey Kong one, it came with a bunch of secrets and explanations on what every item, the story, the gameplay, how to play, the controller, the enemies, everything. This was a pretty cool manual at the time, and it also promotes other games in the back, and that's pretty cool. And also the start of another trend, the Gamecube Era. Take a look at this Luigi's Mansion booklet. Even though it's a little wrinkly, that's on me. Look at all the colors, look at all the story, the gameplay. This is the definition of a perfect gaming manual. It has little Q&As, some games, some questions. It's very detailed and very useful. This is just perfection. And everything you need to know before starting the game. It's something to enjoy when you're playing the game for the first time, or when you want to research something real fast, or if you somehow forget the controls after a very long time of not playing. Well, this is a very fun and entertaining way, and an in-hand way to look at that, to remind yourself of how to play on this story where you left off. Are you having troubles with some enemies? Well, maybe the answer on how to defeat them are in this manual. And granted, not all gaming manuals were great. For example, in the Spider-Man 2 manual, it is a blue blend, it's in black and white, but it gives you all the basic information, combos, tips, icons that you're going to need through your adventure, and the credits. It even has some space in the back for notes. So like I said, it is not as amazing as, for example, the Luigi's Mansion one, and it is also promoting an X-Men game on the back. And some GameCube games also came with, besides the normal instruction manual, a precaution booklet on how to use the GameCube, but yeah, this is pretty normal. Almost every game came with it, if not every game. However, what I really want to talk about are the crown jewels of instruction booklets, when it's something more than an instruction booklet. For example, in the Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, the instruction booklet is outstanding. It is beautiful. It looks like an old navigation map scene, with the controls, the story, how to play, a lot of drawings and graphics on how to play, an explanation of all the items, and just a beautiful manual that works just the way that it's supposed to be. But that's not the only thing that it came with. It also came with a Nintendo Power ad in order to get the magazines and have some more information and t-shirts, and have some promotions and have it delivered to your house, which is pretty cool. Another instruction booklet on how to connect your GBA to the GameCube in order to have little hints with Tingle, and the precaution booklet itself. So that's already 4 stuff that it came with. This is amazing. If they're getting better and better with each generation, I cannot wait to see what the Wii becomes. Now this is great. Some instruction booklets came in 3 languages, like this new Super Mario Bros. Wii one. And oh my god, is this literally a book. It's huge, it has little graphics, how to play, how to use the controls. This is very nostalgic to me, and it even has a little section written by Princess Peach, which is always very cute. And again, it also came in French and in Spanish, which I am thankful for. And this is a complete manual. And many Nintendo games did this for the Wii. For example, one of my favorites is Punch-Out! Punch-Out's booklet is also very detailed. It has a lot of useful information on how to play, how to defeat certain enemies, little hints here and there. It is a very complete manual as well, and man, I love the aesthetic and effort put into this manual. And this was also the beginning of Club Nintendo, but we're going to talk about that in a bit. Now that we're in the Wii topic, I want to mention my favorite Wii manual of all time, and it has to be the Super Smash Bros. Brawl manual. I mean, look at this thing, the aesthetic, the controls, basic moves, and while it explains every single mode of the game, the main thing that I want to focus on is that it has an explanation on how to use every single character with their up smash, their final smash, their down B, their up B, every single attack. With only the base game, so Snake and Sonic's moveset are not here, even though they do spoil them in the manual, so it was not a surprise if you read the manual. But man, this booklet is so cool. And some games came with something more than just a booklet, like this Toy Story 3 game for the Wii. That not only came with its little manual, it's not as impressive as the ones that we just talked about, but it is something to talk about. But it also came with a little poster inside of it, which is just the cover art of the game. And on the back it has a lot of promotionals on the game and some accessories that you can get for your Wii and your DS and some books. And this is pretty cool as well. And also, when it comes to collecting, I want to make this little space here. When it comes to collecting, well, maybe you don't have many of the popular games, and when you do get them, they do not come with a manual. Sometimes you can have Super Mario Galaxy and not have a manual, or other times you can be very lucky and get... Now the DS! Man, did the DS have a lot of manuals. It's always great to have one of your favorite games, open it up and boom! Here's your manual. And I really like the DS manuals. They're all so little and so compact. It's like a little notebook. And this Super Mario 64 one for the Nintendo DS is pretty cool. And it also came with a Nintendo Power ad as well. And this is something that they start to do more and more. And when I buy games in 2024 and I'm always looking for the manual, every time I get it, it's like, hell yeah! Something that I noticed is that the Legend of Zelda always has amazing manuals. They're always looking like an old map that you can explore and travel and write your notes in. It's something really cool, and I love the graphics every time they use them. And maybe this is a guilty pleasure of mine, but even if the manuals aren't really that good and they're just mainly text, sometimes having the manuals of some of my favorite movie tie-in games bring me a weird feeling of joy. And it is something that I really do enjoy quite a lot. But if we're going to talk about DS manuals, we have to talk about Disney. Disney always went crazy when it came to manuals. For example, in Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension for the Nintendo DS, you get a very short manual of the game, the Nintendo Wi-Fi instruction booklet, which is just huge, a health and safety precaution booklet that most Nintendo DS games have, a freaking poster that if you turn around also has promotionals for the game, for the movie, for the toys, for the books, and the soundtrack, which is just insane. And it also came with a code to unlock extra content. Don't worry about the code, I already used it. And again, this one helped to get extra content. So to recap, extra content, a poster, the health and safety precaution booklet, the Wi-Fi connection instruction booklet, and the game instruction booklet. All for this game. This is insane. And you can also see that in Club Penguin Herbert's Revenge, with a very little instruction booklet, a code that is already redeemed and it's useless now, for your Club Penguin account back in the day, another poster that has some promotionals in the back, a health and safety precaution booklet, and a Nintendo Wi-Fi connection instruction booklet. Like I said, Disney went all out. So the next big Nintendo console was the 3DS. What can go wrong? This is what I like to call the beginning of the end. Because while some games did include instruction booklets, they started to look like this. Yeah, like what the hell is this? Besides the instruction booklet, this game also came with an ad for other Nintendo games and a Club Nintendo membership code to unlock more stuff. This is when Club Nintendo was starting to become popular, and you can basically cash in your codes and get some real world items, so you can get a bunch of different stuff. If you want a video about Club Nintendo in detail, be sure to tell me in the comments down below. But yeah, this was the downfall. You want to see the Animal Crossing New Leaf instruction booklet? Well, it looks like this. What the hell? And it only became a matter of time before my gaming experience became like this. Huh. I mean, sometimes it included the electronic manual, but when that happened, that was the end. What is the electronic manual? Well, Nintendo opted to just post them online in the console. So you do not have any manuals anymore. Some companies were nice enough to actually put manuals in their games. However, these instruction booklets do not feel the same. They feel lifeless. They feel more like ads than actual instruction booklets for games. And that's when the end finally arrived. Oh my god. Because now, you don't even get a Club Nintendo card. They are putting it behind the box art. So when you open your game, you have nothing. Nothing! And this is truly the end of booklets. Let's talk about the Wii U. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I honestly do not remember a single instruction booklet for the Nintendo Wii U. And well, this trend also came to the Switch. The average Switch buying experience goes a little like this. It's just the cartridge. Which by itself, of course, you're buying the game, but why even have these little things if you're not even going to put an instruction booklet inside of them? It's time to face the facts. Instruction booklets are gone. There are still some companies that are putting instruction booklets in their games. For example, whenever Limited Run releases a game, they make sure to include a little modern instruction booklet inside of the games. For example, they did it with Star Wars Republic Commando. And they also did it with Scott Pilgrim vs. The World. And those are the only two examples I can give you because these are the only two limited run games that I have. However, other companies do a little twist around that. Like for example, Undertale for the Nintendo Switch. This one, instead of an instruction booklet, it includes the story, the epilogue of the game. Which is honestly pretty cool. I dig this little book that they gave me with my Undertale physical copy. So back to the main topic. I really do believe that instruction booklets are something really important for gaming culture and something that we're losing. Again, with the loss of physical media and the market preferring digital media instead of physical media, we're also losing the booklets. Which is something that I'm really sad about, because I do remember as a kid opening a game up and seeing that sweet instruction booklet and just wanting to read it and get more excited as I go and play the game. And whenever I'm collecting games nowadays and I'm buying old games, having the instruction manual is always a plus and something that I look forward to. Let's bring instruction booklets back. In fact, this is not an ad by any means, but there is also a guy on Etsy that is making his own booklets and selling them in order for you to have booklets for your Nintendo Switch games. If you want to buy them, I will leave the link in the description. Again, this is not sponsored, but it's something really cool. And well, yeah, pretty much I miss booklets. I hope gaming companies start making gaming booklets again. And well, yeah, that's everything for today. Tell me in the comments down below if you miss gaming booklets and manuals. I truly do. They are special to me in a very unique way. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya. Bye.